Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo. They're ballers, man, living the dream, kicking goals, making bank. But what about a footballer who's got all the talent but just can't seem to keep it together? I'm talking about Mario Balotelli, an Italian powerhouse who's gone from smashing goals to smashing his career. Balotelli, rete! Now, how can someone who's scoring like a man possessed suddenly start acting possessed? Stick around because we'll be diving into the epic, jaw-dropping tale of Mario Balotelli's wild ride. Let's hit the rewind button to summer of 2022. Now, I don't mean the time your pool inflatables popped or when that sunburn left you looking like a lobster. No, I'm talking about when Mario Balotelli was reborn on the Turkish football scene. Let me set the scene. Balotelli's out there in the scorching heat of Adana Demirspor, running wild on the pitch, lighting it up like 4th of July. He's not just there for a vacation, mind you. No, sir. The Italian stallion is leading the charge, hammering 18 goals in the net like he's got a personal vendetta against it, all in just 32 games. It's like he's channeled the spirit of his younger self, a ghost from the days when the world was at his feet. Even if you've got something against Balotelli, and let's face it, some folks do, you gotta admit the man's on fire. After 4 years of being treated like a ghost by the Italian national team, he's back proving that not all heroes wear capes. Some, it seems, prefer football jerseys. So, if you think this is where the story ends with Balotelli rising from the ashes like a phoenix, you'll be mistaken. Because remember, folks, we're talking about the same Mario Balotelli who's as unpredictable as a coin flip. 1 minute, he's scoring goals left and right, and the next minute, he might just decide to juggle oranges at halftime. That's Mario Balotelli. Now, put yourself in the shoes of the Swiss giant seal. You're seeing Balotelli, this Mario goal machine, tearing up the Turkish league. What do? You got to get that checkbook out and splash a cool 3.5 mil to get this human firecracker onto your team. Fans are ecstatic. They're thinking Christmas came early. Mario, Super Mario, Balotelli, their hero, their savior, is finally here. But you know, it's never smooth sailing when Balotelli's involved. When the local press starts hurling accusations about him staggering out of nightclub 3 sheets to the wind, fans are torn. But being the devoted lot that they are, they stand by him, defending him like a mother bear protecting her cubs. Mario, for his part, shows some love back, not with hugs and kisses, mind you, but with goals. 4 of them in his first 4 games in October. It's like he can't stop scoring, like he's got an appointment back of the net every game. But just when you think everything's hunky-dory, Balotelli does what Balotelli does best. He adds a twist to the tale. Now, if you were that Balotelli, man who's currently scoring goals like it's going out of fashion, is about to give his own fans the bird, would you believe me? Don't answer that just yet, because before we dive into that, we're taking a detour to sunny Marbella. And trust me, this story you don't want to miss. Just picture this. You're Mario Balotelli, one of football's biggest bad boys. You're in the middle of a match against Basel, fighting for the sweet victory, and suddenly it's all going pear-shaped. 0 goals on the board, tensions running high, and something snaps. So what does our man do? He flips the crowd and grabs his own junk. And you thought your bad days were. The Swiss FA aren't thrilled. Mario, in their eyes, has just pulled a stunt crazier than a raccoon riding a bicycle, and they hit him with a ban. Now, here's where you might expect some contrition, right? A little, my bad, won't happen again. No, Mario's not about that. He's back branding FAs as the master of corruption and the mafia. Makes you wonder if he's gunning for the role in the next Godfather. But wait, there's more. As the year winds down and snow starts falling, Sean decides to head to sunny Marbella for the winter training camp. But Mario, our man of the hour, has other ideas. He's not interested in training. He's got his eyes on the party scene. Picture this, a bunch of footballers in a bar, led astray by none other than Balotelli. They're knocking back drinks like it's going out of style and sneaking girls into the team hotel like it's a mansion from the James Bond movie, but they're not as slick as 007. The club staff catch them red-handed and Mario gets a right telling off. But don't start feeling sorry for Mario yet. But just when it seems like he's hit rock bottom, he gets a nod from the Pacus Award. Remember that audacious Rabano goal he scored in Turkey? Yeah, that one. But just as Mario is basking in the limelight, something from his past resurfaces, and it's not pretty. Stick around because you're going to not want to miss what happens next. Now get this. You're Mario, right? You're on cloud 9 after getting nominated for the Pacus Award. Everything's peaches and cream. Life looking up again. And then, boom, an old fan stumbles onto a photo you signed for him back in your Man City days. Except this isn't your typical best wishes Mario message. Nope, our dear Balotelli thought he'd mix things up a bit. The message he penned for his fan, Sasha, to Sasha, fuck off, Mario Balotelli.
What?
Yeah, you heard that right. If you were thinking of asking Mario for an autograph, you may want to reconsider. But this isn't the only shocker from our boy Mario's past. Prepare yourself for another stunning incident. This one is involving some fireworks, a burning house, a certain Manchester derby. On the brink of the biggest match in the season, the ever unpredictable Mario Balotelli's knack for personal trouble resurfaces. His house, situated in the tranquil Montreux St. Andrew, Cheshire, is ablaze due to ill-judged fireworks display in his bathroom. Unhurt, but with belongings under threat, Balotelli is reluctant to abandon his home. Nevertheless, 2 fire crews arrived just before 1 a.m., donning breathing apparatus to tackle the substantial fire on the first floor. Roberto Mancini, Balotelli's coach, later learns of the incident. Despite Balotelli's claim of a friend being responsible, Mancini is less than pleased at his star player, who would expose himself to such risk on the cusp of a crucial match. Balotelli seeks refuge in a Manchester hotel, showing up for training as scheduled, seemingly unfazed by the night's chaos. He admits to the club officials that he and a few friends had been setting off fireworks through the open window, which led to the towels in the bathroom catching fire. The timing couldn't be worse. Mancini had just recently noticed and appreciated Balotelli's big improvement in behavior as the player continued his goal-scoring spree in his last 4 games. The team's strategy for the derby was significantly centered around Balotelli's breaching United defense. Mancini, just the day before, had expressed hope that Balotelli was leaving behind his past controversy, changing his mentality for the better. Yet this latest incident just opposes starkly against Balotelli's recent insistence of maturity and a move towards a quieter life in the countryside, further complicating his reputation as one of the most controversial figures in English football. But when you think it can't possibly get any more absurd, it does. And trust me, you couldn't make this up if you tried. CN Sporting Director Bartholomew Constantine, thinking he could bring some cheer into Mario's life, drags him to a fancy dress party. Oh boy, Mario decides to go. And wait for it, Pikachu, the Pokemon. Yes, but as with Mario, never just a quiet night. A scuffle breaks out, punches are thrown, and who ends up on the receiving end? Constantine, the man who tried to cheer him up, ends up with a shiner thanks to a rogue punch from Pikachu. Mario. In the very next game, Constantine, black-eyed and bruised, watches from the stands as Sion loses 4-0 to St. Gallen. The fans, completely fed up with Balotelli's antics, start burning his shirts and booing him off the pitch. It's a total meltdown. And to add to the madness, Balotelli refuses to come on as a sub in another match with Sion trailing 3-0. And just when you think things couldn't get any worse for Mario, he receives some heartbreaking news. He lost the Pukas Award to a guy with one leg. And the kicker? It's an absolute belter of a goal. But that's not all, folks. There's more trouble brewing for our boy Mario. Don't go anywhere because you're not going to believe what happens next. All right, hold on to your seats, folks, because we're diving back into the mad world of Mario Balotelli. If you thought everything you'd heard up to now was crazy, get ready to have your mind absolutely blown. You think Mario's year couldn't possibly get any worse, right? Wrong. After emotional roller coaster of a season, Sion faces their rival, Leusen, in a regulation playoff. Everyone's hoping for a miracle, praying that Mario will step up and save the day. But instead, they end up falling flat on their faces. Sion gets regulated to the second tier. And guess who they blame for the catastrophe? You got it, none other than our own man, Balotelli. The sporting director, Constantine, yes, the same guy who got socked by Pikachu, comes out and brands the entire Balotelli saga as a soap opera. He goes on to say that signing Balotelli was a mistake. Ouch! But don't start feeling sorry for Mario just yet. He's only 32 and on the lookout for a new club. Now, you gotta wonder, who would be brave enough, or should I say crazy enough, to take a gamble with our bad boy Mario? And believe it or not, folks, someone actually does take a chance on him. So who could it be, folks? Who's got the guts, the courage, the sheer audacity to bet on Balotelli? Only time will tell, my friends.